First, I must be very strong that I do not believe in hitting or any kind of striking a child is at all appropriate in discipline. And the Academy of Pediatrics strongly says that too, and we say that in the child care book. But what do you do with a child who is out of control or who is difficult to manage? First of all, it is a challenge. It's not easy, but we do know that hitting never was the answer either. That it gave the child the wrong message, that they would often use that technique when they interact with their friends or others or their younger siblings. So that's just got to be off the screen. So what do you use? Well, there have been a number of techniques and approaches, mainly around the issue of limit setting, of occasionally of withdrawing a child to place in a place with no stimulation for a certain amount of time, not a long time, but a certain amount of time. Usually if you take 3 years of age, 3 minutes, 4 years, 4 minutes, something like that, where they're not going to do TV and they're not going to have any kind of a stimulus.
You call that like a timeout type of thing?
Yeah, and timeouts are not easy either. And the key is, in a young child, distraction works. And also avoiding the situations that the child is going to be difficult. If you have a really difficult child who is in a difficult period, at 2, let's say, take them to places where they have the potential to act out, whether it's a supermarket or whether it's public spaces. You just try and figure out ways around that, or do it at times where they're not so crowded or other things that modify. So avoiding situations where a child is likely to act out is the first step. That's a prevention. Second is using techniques that make the child understand that behavior is not acceptable, and if you have to, withdraw the child into a quiet room or a quiet place for a couple of minutes in order to reinforce that. And then there's the need sometimes to not reward, very definitely not to reward when that behavior happens, and be very conscious of doing that, and not giving mixed messages about rewarding things when the behavior has been outrageous. So those are the kind of mixes of behavioral interventions. Hitting doesn't work. No matter what people think. It may make your frustration go away for a moment, but very quickly afterwards, when parents hit, they feel bad because it doesn't feel good to hit your child. And it certainly doesn't feel good to be hit.